5,
E is for Ian.
4, 3, 2.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's Aja Noasia.
And it's A Tati.
What's up? So we're in this beach, finna get conk. Let's have a little bit of a check-in. Anyone?
Okay. So, physically, I am feeling, not tired per se. I feel a little, I don't have a hangover, but I have like I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of the right, like drained maybe. Like tired, drained, just.
What were you doing?
Other
last
things.
night?
Drinking. Well, I wasn't even drinking last night. I was drinking during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking during the day.
Well, day drinking will take you out, so that can explain how
and
you.
that's really, and I did it all on an empty stomach.
Ooh,
Yes.
wild.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Thank God I didn't get sick
You were thinking, let's get
or
drunk.
anything.
Where were you at?
But I was with Cassidy's dad and his mom.
Oh, she tried to get you drunk last time, didn't she?
Yeah.
I like that in her. I last time you told me that, I always just feel like she's like, let's give her a load off. Like you come in, you can get slapped if you want to.
Yeah, the first time I
You
didn't
do
get,
everything.
I was just good.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was drunk. I was drunk. And I had to sober up so quick to get me and my child home safely.
Thank God.
And we did. Yeah. So, okay, that's physically. Emotionally, I feel happy.
You got a little eyelash here I'm going to get for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And grateful for friends like Bree. And physical, no, and my intention is on, this new special that our producer, MJM Kid, is doing for his photography every Wednesday, $40. Get in tune, because I'm getting in tune. So I'm going to probably take up like 2 hours, because I'm going to probably just keep paying to do
I love
multiple shoots, multiple
Yes,
people.
yes.
So I'm putting my attention is on that. And then spiritually, I am feeling woke, so to say. I think I feel very just in tune right now. I use the word woke because people say that so much now. So,
Yeah.
but I just feel kind of in tune with just my surroundings and my just purpose at the moment. So
It's a great way to feel.
yes.
You want to go, Ash?
Sure. So physically, I thought I was trying to get sick again. I don't think I ever fully got over my sickness. So I felt like I was trying to get sick, but I took an antibiotic yesterday, an extra antibiotic that I had from last time when I was really sick, and I just feel better. Medicine is magic, y'all.
I know a guy too, if you ever need some.
No. I know a pharmacist. At Walgreens.
I know a pharmacist. But you
But,
gotta get prescribed it to
they
get
know
it from
your
there, don't
money.
you?
They know your money.
It's 22. Anyway, so physically, but I'm feeling better now. So, just feel a little groggy, but persevering. Emotionally, I'm in a okay space emotionally. I've just been not sad, but I've been having a lot of happy tears and things like that lately. Just because I feel just overwhelmed with joy, I guess you could say. My attention is on just figuring out some birthday plans, because I really don't know what I'm trying to do. And I always get like this, and then I end up just not celebrating that all, because I just be over it.
That's what we want to do this year.
And spiritually, I feel good. Did you do spiritually?
Yes, you did.
Oh, spiritually, I feel at peace spiritually.
Nice.
I don't know.
And your nails are very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. They look like adult hands.
Oh, thank you.
Like I'm grown and I type.
Not adult.
I could type real fucking good. Anybody got a office position you need filled?
You got like 9 jobs already.
Right. I do. But the coin never stops. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
That was good.
I like the hair. That is shorter.
Thanks.
I love it.
Don't you feel inclined to touch it?
Yeah, like it's just
Yeah.
really curly and just fresh
Thanks.
looking. You're welcome.
I got some jojoba oil that I put with some water and I just spritz it and rub it through there, and some peppermint oil that I put in my scalp, and it just makes it shine.
And it just makes it shine.
I want MJM Kid to go next.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
What's up? What's up?
Physically, I'm feeling warm as usual. Took a couple shots upstairs. Emotionally,
You're sad. Like emotional.
emotionally, pretty balanced out. My emotions are at a nice level. I feel like I sound like a frog. To hear myself.
I'm not going for Still ugly.
Nope, still ugly. What else is new? My attention is on also my birthday festivities.
Birthday.
I'll be golden this year.
This year?
I love
How
it.
many June birthdays?
So many.
June is actually fucking cracking.
It's
So
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
time.
Don't say nothing else about it.
Time. No, don't say nothing about it.
Focus.
Spiritually, I'm also feeling at peace.
I love it.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Kapkumka. Kapkumka.
Oh, that's one of the best parts.
Yep, I got it. Yep, I got it. Yep.
That was your ringtone for a long time.
Oh, you did say that. Kapkumka.
Just
Kapkumka.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyway, hi. Physically, I'm feeling a little congested, and I'm hoping that it doesn't worsen with the factors of I forgot to toot my medicine this morning, and I inhaled like hella cheese not too long ago. So
Inhale.
I inhaled it.
Where? Here?
Oh, it wasn't. No, that was.
Oh, I was supposed to
I
That was my
So
cheese.
upset.
That was
Oh,
my
okay.
cheese.
my cheese.
So I ate it all, and so it's probably gonna, add to that because I didn't took my medicine physically. Emotionally, I'm feeling joy, like a lot of joy, lots of joy, just joy.
She got the joy down in her heart.
Where?
Down in her heart.
Said where?
Down in her heart.
Say
She got
where?
the joy. What's that from?
It's
Sister.
sister. Anyway, my attention is currently on making the most of all of the ways that I am inspired right now. I just have like some really dope ass people that I know and that are around me. Shameless plug. If you're in the Chicagoland area and you are a musician, please hit up Fat Tongue Studios. I will be more than happy to put their information down below. Amazing studio. They just had a grand opening yesterday, and I'm just very proud of my friends who literally just took his money, built a whole fucking studio, expanded it, made it this dope ass amazing place. And so you should definitely do it right if you're gonna do it. Stop recording in your auntie basement. Just go to a real studio and they'll hook you up. And they're super talented, like engineers, everything. So that's that. I just feel very blessed to be inspired in that way, and I want to make the most of that. Spiritually, I feel OC, y'all. So I made a connection with a person who I've been wanting to connect with for a really, really long time, but I just didn't know how to go about doing it because I'm attracted to this person, but I really didn't want that to be the forefront. I wanted it to be, because he's a great asset as like what he does. So I just wanted to make sure that I came correct and make sure that he knew, like, I really do want to learn from you. And I made that connection yesterday and woke up to like, just like a lot of feedback from him, I'll say. Just like a lot of feedback from him. And then I pulled the damn Four of Wands this morning in my tarot card, which is basically the marriage card. And I was just like, this is a lot. y'all need to relax.
And she
so
loves marriage.
I don't. It's just weird, like, because it's like a marriage card, but it's really just like about celebration, like harmony, like that sort of thing. But the card depicts like a wedding, and I was just like, that's a lot. This is a lot.
Great news.
So I just feel very interesting in that way, spiritually. And this week, I just have to tell y'all that because I was like, this is weird. Discovery Zone. I'm gonna jump right in there. So something that I discovered yesterday or the day before is a website called blackwomeninpolitics.com, and it's basically a database where in your area you can look up all of the black women who are running for anything in your area. So it gives you all of the resources for you to like go and find people, and like the links straight to their email. I mean, not their emails, but their website, so that you can read about them. Make sure that you, you know, that their values align with yours and stuff, because it's just an amazing thing. It was created by Lovey Ajayi and like some of her friends. And basically, she was like, you know, I just need to know more. She just wanted to know for herself where the black woman was at, who was like running for office and stuff. And so she started just compiling a list. And they started off with like 106 people. And just from like talking about it and like writing a blog post about it, more and more people started saying, and this woman is also running in this area, in this area, in this area. And then her and her friends just decided to like make a whole website. Like, let's make this a thing where, because people want to know that. Like, that's important information. So shout out to Lovey Ajayi and to all of her friends and to this website. And so you should definitely look that up so that you can know about the black women in your area that are running for any sort of office, and put these black women in office, because as we always know, black women have continuously shown up and shown out for the rest of the world, because the rest of y'all be playing. So
you said the website also does tells you like their how do I say it? Like it tells you like what their campaign is, like what they like
so it'll have a link to that person's website, so that you could go and you can like read up on them. Because we shouldn't just vote for people just because they're a black woman.
Right. That's what I was thinking in my head, like
but so it does just like direct you to all of the information that you would need, so that you can make smart voting decisions.
I like it.
So that's that.
Hi everyone. So kind of keeping the spirit of politics going, we had Kim Kardashian West meet with y'all's president Donald Trump to discuss prison reform. And my whole thing was, I just saw a lot of people like dogging Kim, like saying like, oh great, what does she know about prison reform, and you know, just like things like that. And my whole thing was, she's trying to make a step in the right direction, so why are we like knocking her for trying to do something good for the better of the people? You know, like mass incarceration is a major thing, especially for black men, and I don't see what we gain from, what we lose from having her meet with Donald Trump to discuss prison reform. Granted, she's not a black woman or a black man, and you know, you can only say so much because you don't walk in our shoes, so you can only say so much to help. But at the same time, like I said, she is making an effort to voice, you know, her opinions on helping, you know, mass incarceration and prison reform not be, you know, such a problem, which it is today.
I think that Kim went and met with him also because Kim has, she's fighting for a personal cause. Like she, like that story, I forget the lady's name, but like a story that went viral like a few months back about like an older woman like in her 60s who had gotten arrested and got like this life sentence for like, this was like her first time like offense,
and it wasn't
like a lower level drug offense, like it wasn't like something extreme, and she has like a life sentence. And when Kim, and I remembered when Kim posted about it when that story first was going around, and she was like, oh my gosh, like this really touched me, like I want to help her. And here we are 7 or so months later, and like there was like a little clip of her like on the phone with the lady, and the lady, you know, just being like thankful to her for just like helping her out, and the lady was referring to how she remembered like when her legal team contacted her and she had no idea what was going on, and she was like, who is this trying to help me? And when they said Kim, just how happy she was. And I think that Kim went to Donald Trump, I feel like, because she has an individual, like, of course she wants to help everything, but she has like an individual goal that she's trying to reach. So I felt like she went to, try to accomplish that individual
that's where it starts.
Goal. Yeah, and I don't see anything necessarily wrong with it per se. Like I didn't see it as harmful. Yeah, like it didn't like bother me. Like, what the fuck is this? Like I wasn't like that. But I think typically, like just anytime you see the Kardashians in the headlines, the people that don't like the Kardashians or that dislike them, it's always going to be the same. It'll always be the same reaction. Because if that had been Obama, she had went and met with Obama about President Trump, people would have still been like, fucking Kim. Like up there bothering our president. Like, so.
That's so true.
That's so true. No, but I'm happy for her. Do your thing.
Cool.
Girl.
What else are the West up to, Aja? I was going to call you Kanye. What else are the West up to, Kanye?
I would love to be Kanye West. He's rich.
I don't know why this.
He's rich. But no, so also Kanye, Kanye dropped his new album, Yay. He had a listening party in Wyoming.
What's that? Wyoming.
Was that Thursday?
It's not like that. Wyoming?
No.
Like Wyoming.
In Wyoming. And he, was that Thursday he had it? And then the album dropped on Friday.
Exactly.
And I really enjoyed it. I don't know, I'd be like biased, I guess, because I really enjoy Kanye. Like, I feel like he really just takes you on his mental journey. Like, where he is mentally, I feel like he does that with all of his albums. Like, this is where I'm at in my life right now. Here's how I'm dealing and coping with it. Listen to this art or whatever. And I feel like a lot of people who didn't like it just didn't want to like it because they mad at Kanye right now. But if you know music and you like,
and if that's the case, like, you probably just shouldn't have listened.
Yeah, and if you know music and you know the talent that this man possesses, like, you can't knock. You have to give praise when praise is due. Period. And you can't knock greatness. And it was great, Kanye. We love you here. Where's the podcast?
That's a lot. The album was great though.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked
You
it.
don't
But I can
speak
see
for us,
somebody
so.
like not liking it too. Like I think everything is relative. I think there are some people that probably are just hating to be hating, and then there could be some people that actually just didn't like it. Like, everybody doesn't like it.
I didn't even see anybody. I saw a lot of people being like, y'all really just gonna listen to this album? Like, y'all really about to pay this man and listen to this album? Y'all really flying out to Wyoming and supporting this guy? Okay, cool. And that to me makes sense because these are people who are not listening to the album. But like, I didn't see anybody who listened to the album and was like, just like I thought, fucking crazy. Like, everybody that I saw was like, either I was going to listen regardless and it's really good and I'm glad that I did, or like, I didn't want to listen. I wasn't really all the way on board with listening, but now that I did, it's really good. Which is where I was with it. Like, I kind of was like, I don't want to, but I was like, also like, I'm just going to. I just like made a decision, like, I'm just gonna listen.
Just press play.
I was like totally down, especially knowing that it was only 7 songs, and then all these albums that he's producing this summer are all 7 songs. That gave me even more of an incentive to listen, because nowadays sometimes these albums be really fucking long, and it'd be a real job. Like, okay, like if I'm about to sit down and listen to this album, you're about to take a chunk of your day and put it towards listening to this album. But knowing it was only 7 songs, it was like, oh,
I can
sure,
do that.
let's play that. Play while I brush my teeth. I'm done. And it was, only thing I saw was people tripping over the title of the first track. Like, I saw like different people like posting it because it was was it I Wanted to Kill You? Or I Thought About Killing You. And people were, I saw a bunch of people that were real freaked out about just the title of it. Like, I have a friend that wouldn't even listen to it. Loves the album, but specifically skipped over that song and listened to all the other ones. That was just read the title and was just like,
no thanks.
That creeps me out.
That's
and
fine.
Just
and that's
went to the next one.
But that song is so fucking good. Like, because I've listened to it like a few times now, but when I first put it on, I was like, this is Def Poetry Jam Kanye. It made me so happy. It just made me very purely happy.
the way it flowed.
It was just so good. It was just so good. I'm not gonna stand for this album right now though. I'm gonna relax. In addition to this isn't related, but it is. If you don't want to listen to Kanye or you're mad at Kanye, Black Thought also just dropped an EP and it is fucking amazing. It's amazing. So listen to that as well. Or listen to that instead of Kanye if you don't want to listen to Kanye.
And y'all look out for Pussy Passion 2000.
Pussy Passion 2000 coming to an ear near you.
Just one.
This one. Just your right ear. Continue on.
Well, also in the Discovery Zone, we have Ariana Grande and her new boo, and actually Tinashe and Ben Simmons. I don't know what's Ariana Grande new boo name.
I forget his name, but he's from American Horror Story, I think.
Is he?
I think.
Ariana Grande's boyfriend?
White boys look alike to me though, so maybe that's not him.
I don't know what he looks like really.
That is him. I know
from American Horror. What?
No, it's not.
Pete Davidson from the Saturday Night Live.
That's who that is.
She's dating him? I'm so
Oh,
excited.
he's from Wild 'N Out too,
I just
right?
see his face all the time. And I see his face all the time. Is he from Wild 'N Out?
Yeah, that's where he started.
Is that a fact? That's awesome.
Wow.
I thought that was that white boy from American Horror Story.
No.
White dudes really do be looking alike.
Not
But
like
the
that.
fact that they don't look anything.
Not like that though,
They look
geez.
similar.
They don't look anything.
So they got matching tats?
I don't know if she got
I don't
one.
think she got a tag.
Oh, he got...
He got her initials tattooed on him.
Whoa.
That's nice.
Which is wild because I just feel like Ariana Grande really moves really fast into new relationships. Like, she just broke up with Mac Miller. Like, I just was watching.
But do we know the genuine timeline though? We only know what's shown to us.
Well, still though.
Well, I mean, you can base it off of if you wanted to just base it off of Instagram posts.
Yeah.
And look at when the last time they were posting pictures and when they were erased, and base that to now. Then you can
That's a lot of work
do that. They do it all the time.
for somebody else's.
That'd be this year though. They still be...
They have to do that. Well, they don't have to do that, but all the art they do that all the time.
But it just is crazy to me, and I mean, and not even. I don't know, because I just know me personally, when I get out of a relationship, I be liking to take my time because it's an adjustment. Like, losing a relationship is like a death. You grieve, you be happy, you be sad, you be mad. You know, like, if you were really invested into that person, it's a cycle of getting back to normalcy or whatever. And she just really moves fast. Like, she just broke up with Mac Miller not too long ago. And now she's with Pete Davidson, and he got her initials tattooed on him. Like, that's crazy.
I think it's fine. I think that everybody's romantic life cycle is very different, and I think that if you are somebody who is aware of who you are and what you want, and maybe she just doesn't see the point of I know I want to be in a relationship. I'm not gonna do the in between time of dating and I'm just gonna be single and figure it out. If I know I want to be in a relationship, if I break up with this person and then the next person is right there at arm's reach and we are attracted to each other, we do like each other, maybe she's just why wait and court and do all that extra shit when I can just be in a relationship again and I know that's what I want.
I don't see nothing wrong with it as long as you're not doing things that are problematic, because I would say the same thing about Big Sean. I feel like when
I was
his
gonna say
relationships
that.
end,
I was gonna say that.
he jumps
Stay
into
with a
other ones
girlfriend.
really quickly. But the only thing that was problematic was in that first one when him and his high school sweetheart first broke up and he got with Naya. You were trying to get married, and I think that's when it can get kind of problematic when you're jumping into things really quickly. Because if you can fall in love like that and then you can fall out of it like that, it's you don't want to be hopping in our relationships and then in the process you're getting married, divorced, having kids, that type of stuff. If you can just keep it keep it cool between me and you and you're not adding extra baggage into each situation, I think that's fine. Like, but just don't hop into long-term commitments.
Would you hop into a long-term commitment, like another relationship soon, if you knew that your ex wasn't over you, like for the purpose of? Can I finish? For the purpose of, like, because if you felt like that might like send them over the edge, would you not like get into another relationship just for
their feelings?
Yeah, for their feelings, or like, you know, just I don't know, maybe just not make it as public or whatever.
I think it depends on my feelings. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it depends on how strongly I have fallen for this other person. Like, if I just like you, or you know, we just cool and we're flirting, going on a couple of days, sure. Like, especially if I was just in a long-term relationship, I could see myself just being like, you know what, just out of respect, I'm not about to just wild out. Like, I'm gonna give it some time. But if I genuinely just fell in love, like I'm madly in love now, like I'm not gonna censor myself. Mm-hmm. So I think it just depends on how strongly I feel.
But what if you really do have strong feelings for your new person, but like you and your ex didn't leave on like bad terms, like, you know, but so like y'all are still cordial, or you know, like y'all hang in the same circle?
So it should be fine then. If we're still cordial and everything's okay, and we ended it, and we ended it healthily, why should I have to hide anything?
But what if you, like, he knew that you were if he wanted to, like, if you wanted to, like, take a break, but you knew he wasn't really over you, but y'all are, you know, like, y'all are in a good space. You get what I'm saying?
Are we together, or talking about being together, or are we actually over?
No, y'all are done.
Then it doesn't matter. I can do what I want.
Okay.
I think as long as this new relationship isn't something, now I can see, like, to use an example that everybody would know, like, when Nicki and Safari broke up, it was already alleged as they were breaking up that her and Meek Mill were starting to mess around. So I was like kind of hurt when I started seeing her post pictures a lot of her and Meek Mill, because it was kind of like, their situation was a little different because she wouldn't post Safari and claim him publicly. Yeah. But it was like, if we were together and I've been arguing saying that I think you messing with this person, and then like 2 weeks after we broke up, now you're posting pictures of that person, that is a little like hurtful. Like that is a little like, you could have had a little more class about the situation, or not, you know, throwing it into my face. But if it's a completely new person, like this isn't somebody that I was talking to or cheating on you, you know, like this is just a completely new person that I just met, then yeah, like, because if I don't post pictures on social media like that, especially like of relationships. Right. So it wouldn't matter one way or the other to me. But if I'm the type of person that I put my whole life on social media, I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna stop myself now because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Yeah, like I'm just gonna still be me because that's who I am.
Right. But so also I said I was coupling this with Tinashe because her and Ben Simmons were dating, and I don't know much about Ben Simmons.
He's a basketball player?
Yeah, he's a basketball player. And apparently he's like one of the top picks or something during the draft, because he had like a lot of money or whatever. So him and Tinashe were dating. And apparently they broke up. This is what I read on the blogs, because he told her she was doing Kardashian shit.
I heard that too.
Yeah, and then like,
which I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. They didn't say.
Doing whatever it is to like build her career, kind of in a way, like whatever that means, just trying to put out certain things.
Like as far as our relationship, like you're posting a certain way, or like your music is kind of based around a certain sort of thing.
Something along those lines, yeah.
And so they broke up, and then he got with Kendall Jenner, which is funny because she's a Kardashian. Well, a Jenner, whatever. Right. They all say. And
technically, though, Kendall is nothing like the rest of them to me, because Kendall don't be out there like Kylie, like all the others. Like Kendall is very much so just
I feel like her and Courtney are kind of like the more reserved ones, and even Courtney is still kind of
because Courtney is still more in the forefront. Kendall really
she be in the back.
She just be modeling because like she don't be getting no work done. She don't be doing nothing.
But so she did the he was seen with Kendall Jenner or whatever, and then Tinashe's brother took to Twitter and basically was like saying like his sister and Ben broke up on a Sunday, and he was out on a date with Kendall Jenner on like a Monday or a Tuesday or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's like just another thing. Like I don't know if I was famous if I could do that. Like men are different.
You gotta live your life, girl.
Yeah.
You can't worry about, because I just feel like you put so much into a relationship. Once it's over, you deserve to like withhold all of it, like take all of it back and be like, okay, because if you get out of a relationship that for whatever reason you don't want to be in that relationship, or y'all want to be in a relationship for whatever reason the relationship is not working, so why then would I come out of that relationship still having to consider you? Why would I obligate myself to be like, oh well, he wouldn't like, or that's not my motherfucking business.
Even
like
unless we a mutual thing though.
What do you mean?
Like she really didn't want to be over, but he did.
I mean, my whole thing is that's not my fault. Like, if I feel like I don't belong in this relationship, and you steady telling me, "Oh no, stay."
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Like, you say, "No, stay. Let's work this out." But I know that I don't want to be there. I shouldn't then have to spare your feelings. If I'm being completely honest with you and telling you I don't want to be here, why would I still feel like I have to spare your feelings in every next move that I make? If I told you flat out I don't want to be in this relationship.
Like you finally got out of the relationship,
and
but I'm still acting like I'm in one because now I'm not even gonna. The only time that it makes sense to me too, though, if you're dealing with a person that didn't want the relationship to end, but you were like, no, like I'm done, like I don't like this. I could see yourself not publicizing your next relationship. Just not if your ex was crazy though.
That's what I was saying before.
Now, like if you don't want to, but that's like if you're saying like, oh, this nigga crazy, like I don't feel like hearing his mouth. I don't feel like these phone calls about to come through. I don't feel like him wilding out. Like just trying to avoid like that type of drama. I can see you being like, I'm not about to tell nobody yet. Right. Like that's just more.
Yeah, but if you act like that, you can definitely get blocked.
Then it's worse. But depending on the crazy. That don't necessarily, blocking don't always stop, especially in this day.
But it's still always ways. There's always ways. Like my whole thing is, I don't think that I would even consider that as well. Like obviously you never know like with certain situations, but there are still always ways around that. Because if blocking you don't work, there are some restraining orders. Like we can get people involved. You're not about to halt my life because you're not over me. That's not my fault. It just isn't. So. I don't know. I think I would just take the precautions that needed to be taken in whatever situation that arises. But take us to the patty bridal, please.
So Drake and Pusha T have been beefing as of late. If you didn't know, now you do. But they've been beefing. Pusha. Well, apparently Pusha T has had a long-standing kind of beef with Wayne and Birdman, apparently.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Apparently if you go back, apparently it's been little things that have been out there like for the longest.
It originated from Mr. Me Too song, is what they said. Is what I read. Is that when Pharrell and the Clips came out with Mr. Me Too, that was like kind of throwing shots at Lil Wayne and them, and that's kind of like where it originated. Mm-hmm. And so now here we are all these years later.
And so I feel like Drake kind of got dragged into this as like collateral damage in a sense, like as time went on, like because it's documented that Drake was a huge Pusha T fan initially, so Drake didn't have any like necessary issues with him in the beginning. I think he just became collateral
Drake
damage
didn't have
along
issues
the
with
line.
anybody in the beginning. He was just trying to live his life and act his acts and rap his raps, and that's it.
So Pusha's new album came out. He had a song on there called Infrared, where he mentioned some things about Baby and Wayne and Drake. Drake then came out with a freestyle that same night, going like in a response to Pusha T. Then Pusha T came out with another song called The Story of Adion,
which should have just been called T.
Which is supposed to be. I remember a while back when there was a porn star that was claiming that she was pregnant by Drake. And I remember that. And so Pusha T is, in his song is trying to say, like, you know, that's true. Drake really does have a son. And that he's just, you know, not publicly claiming him or being around the child, and that he really did have a baby that he's hiding. But the artwork initially for that song was Drake in blackface. Like, it's like an old picture, and he's in blackface with like the red lips, and that was like the artwork, and then him just, you know, making fun of him for being that way. And initially, what I loved so much about the situation, what stood out to me was somebody asked Lupe Fiasco what he thought about the picture. Like, he's like, what do you think about this? And Lupe, who I love, was just kind of like, well, first of all, it's a 2-shot picture. Like, it wasn't just him happy in blackface. Like, there's also another picture that goes right along with it, with him being like sad and like upset in the blackface. And he was like, and he's like, as soon as I saw both pictures, he's like, I completely understand, you know, what like what he was trying to do, what artistic stance he was taking. He's like, I completely understand that. And then the fan was like, yeah, but he was trying to hide it. And he was like, he wasn't trying to hide it. It's an old picture that Pusha T easily pulled up because it's not in hiding. He was like, he wasn't trying to hide it. And he was like, meanwhile, he was like, Pusha T made his album cover our queen. He was like Whitney Houston, because you know his album cover is of her bathroom, which is like when it's like has drugs, paraphernalia all over the place. It's dirty. It's a wreck. And he was like, Pusha T can take our queen in one of her darkest moments and make that his art, or make that his album artwork. He was like, and that's okay. And he was just like, so he was like, just keep me out of it. He's like, unless you're really trying to, you know, argue both sides. Unless you're really prepared to argue both sides. And I thought that was beautiful because I really do feel some type of way about the artwork for Pusha T's album. And I did feel like it was really, it was very insensitive.
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Because like, what was your point?
Yeah, you didn't like you didn't. I was listening to the read and they were like, "Don't your producer do drugs and shit? Didn't he just talk about how he was just addicted to opioids? Take a picture of your own goddamn bathroom. Like, you sold drugs, you know all about like crack and stuff. Y'all can take a picture of y'all own shit. Like, why would y'all do that?" Which I completely. It took me a long time to like understand the real issue with that because I'm always on the side of art when. And I'm always just open to the fact that everything is open for interpretation, and you never know how the person who created it, well, obviously they didn't create it, but the person who's trying to interpret the art, the message, you never know how they interpret it. So for a long time, I was, obviously not a long time, it's been 4 days, but at first it was kind of just like, I'm more so, you know, I was more so just curious about the whys, you know, but now I'm so much less curious about the why because it's like, yeah, you know, like, because all of you have just as dark moments just in your mental Rolodex for your own personal selves. And it's like, would that have been okay if it was
somebody making a mockery?
If
your mama's bathroom.
That's what I was about to say. If it was, heaven forbid, like moments before Donda died and somebody just had photos of like her autopsy or like, you know, anything that was just like symbolic of that moment. That would probably like drive Kanye like off the mental end.
He did want to use something.
Pusha T, that wasn't Pusha T's idea. He had something completely different, and like days before, Kanye West spent like $85,000 to get that photo, and which is just like which was the first thought, which contributed to my first thought of the whys, because that to me, that's a stance. Like, you're standing firm, like, I have to depict this way. And so that's why I really wanted to know why. But now I'm not that interested in why, because I don't know. In the same scheme, he literally like flew to Wyoming the night before his album dropped and just took a picture of some mountains and like drew on it with his little iPhone thing, and that's Kanye West's album cover. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm a little less interested in the whys or the intent, and just more like you just wanted like you wanted to look at me, like look at me, like look at this, look what we're doing. This is outrageous, and I think that Kanye is really thriving on shock factor. or no publicity is bad publicity. Like I think he's really thriving on that right now.
The master of getting attention.
Everybody, because everyone is curious. Everyone wants to know, especially like with all of these people in his camp that are coming out back to back. If anything, everybody is either going to listen because they don't really care about what's going on, or they're going to listen because now I'm like, it's like I'm ear hustling. I'm trying to figure out what's really happening over there. And yeah, but that was wild.
Don't bring that boy to Tiana Taylor stuff.
I just really want to just enjoy Tiana Taylor. Like, that's all, because I'm so excited about her.
The issue too, though, with that picture as well, is how the picture was obtained in the first place. It's not like this was like a documentary or something that was out about her life.
Right.
Like, this was a picture that was secretly taken of her bathroom and then sold, like, some years ago, like, to a newspaper, it was like her sister or something that, like, did that to her. So it was like the origins of it is already hurtful. Yeah. Like the first time it got out. Yeah. So it was like to now redo it again, like it's just like you're just continuing.
And you're not connected to it at all. It would be a different thing if like Whitney Houston was Pusha T's sister. Right. And it was like, this is like a point in our lives that was like this, but like, I don't know. But to just use it to like symbolize something else when you could have just used your own goddamn drugs and your own fucking opioids.
Or you could have used, there are tons of like artists and like people that have been out where there are public depictions of them strung out or orange, or just anything that they knew was out there, that they put out there themselves or
pay these black artists, man. Why would you pay a blog for a picture when you could like find someone who's really talented and who's really doing positive shit? So yeah, all of that was a mess.
And I just really, to get back to like the beefing aspect, Pusha T tried to like expose Drake, saying that he wasn't taking care of his child, but all the receipts popped up and it shows that he actually has been taking care of the child. And
that baby is living well.
Yeah, so like you still, to me, in a sense, you still like you fail. You told the world he had a child, but your facts weren't even right.
Yeah. How did we find out that he really does have a son? How do we know that that's fact?
It's been out that way for a long. I've never seen it as
speculation.
After the speculation was over, when she was like heavily pregnant, because she even came out with some sort of statement in like November talking about how he wasn't like doing what he was supposed to do or whatever. And ever since then, I've never seen anything that was like speculating or like alleged. So not to say, but I'm like 99.9% sure that this is true, especially now with all this other stuff. Like that baby just be dripped in like the finest of OVO stuff. So like, but ever since then, like last November, I want to say, I've never seen the story be alleged. It's always been like, this is openly Drake's baby mama. They're not together, but he's like, taking care of the situation after that whole incident in November. But about the whole Drake blackface thing, I just wanted everybody to relax because Drake is a black person. Yeah. Everybody was acting like Pusha T dug up fucking like Seth MacFarlane or something in fucking blackface. And they're like, everybody stop watching Family Guy because look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, he's a black person. And black people are allowed to interpret like our lineage and our story. Like that's a part of his story anyway. Like, so everybody was just like, yeah, why is he doing blackface? It's like, cause he can. That's a very real thing in our storyline, and he's
seeing that picture person. By itself though, the happy picture, immediately, like I didn't even think of, because seeing it like that for me, I didn't even think of nothing. Like I immediately thought of, though, like when he was on Degrassi and being like a young actor, like I immediately thought of just some white people being like, it'd be great. I think we should do this, and then like him being like, okay, like I feel like that's the image that Pusha was trying to push, was that this is a young stupid boy who threw on blackface because some white person told him to, type of thing. It was like, that'll be funny,
and like, I really appreciated. You should do that. I really appreciated Drake's response to that, like how he kind of just took himself away from the whole. Like, I know that y'all are enjoying just like this beef stuff, but let me just let y'all know that there was a real purpose behind this, which I appreciate. But yeah, boop. Yeah, Praises Due is a beautiful author. She deserves her praise.
My niece looks like I say her name correctly, because it's
Tommy
Adeyemi,
I think.
Tommy
Adeyemi? I think it's Adeyemi.
Yes, Tommy Adeyemi. Yeah. Tommy Adeyemi. Anyway, in Black Girl Magic news, she's 24 years old, with young as fuck. She just got one of the biggest book deals in the world, which also came with like a movie deal, because she has written a children's book called of Blood, The Children of Blood and Bone.
Is that a
which
children's
is a
book
series?
considered?
That's what it says.
That's crazy. First of all, that book is huge, but I'm reading it right now, and it's so.
That's why I had asked
good.
you. I was like, is that a children's
Oh, I didn't
book?
know it
Or
was
I was like,
considered
is
a
it young
children's
adult?
I don't know. It's really good though.
Yeah, I don't know. But it says it's a children's book. It's like a 3-part series. But yeah, she just got a deal, so there'll be movies coming out soon. She feels like, you know, this is also accredited to the success of Black Panther and her feeling like, you know, just the studios and everybody getting to see how amazing it is for Black people to get to see themselves as superheroes and it being in such like this magical way and it being so connected to your culture and your ancestry and just all those great things. So just praises due to her for being so young and living out my dream.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a really good book. I highly recommend that everybody. It's taking me a long time to read it because I'm reading 2 books right now, but that book is really, really good. So shout out to her for sure. Anything else in praises? Life is a catalog. Knock the fuck off. Okay. Well, this is as good a time as ever to go ahead and say bye-bye to all of you. Please continue to do all the things that you've always done. Follow us on all the places to be followed. You can follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, Twit, Facebook, and right here on YouTube. And I think that I'm starting to get away from catering to our listeners. Like, I'm starting to just, like, really be focused on the fact that there's a camera in front of my face. But if you are listening, thank you for continuing to do so. I'm continuously noticing that our numbers are growing in multiple places, not just YouTube. So thank you for people who are just staying true to your SoundCloud and your iTunes, because we appreciate that as well. You can follow me at Bree.stories on Instagram and at Bree_stories on Twitwat and at ATati on Instagram and at HeyTati on Twitwat and at Ajanoasia everywhere?
Yes, everywhere.
Everywhere. And any news? And please follow MJM Kid as well, because if you're in the area and you want your photos done, he got specials. He got specials for you because that's just a nice thing for him to do because it is. It's a nice thing for him to do. No, for real, because his art.
That visual your needs.
No, like his art is like worth real coins. So for him to be like, but I'm gonna give it to you for this, like y'all need to be like crawling down these steps to get y'all's pictures taken. So please be sure to do that, and we will see y'all later. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Peace.